Hey, not so famous.
Yo, what's up, Josh?
Hey, you're filling in because, well, Gio had a family emergency, so you just stepped up to the plate like in a matter of minutes. You
Call
feeling
me
all right?
Date, call me Big Poppy, David
Bi-
Ortiz. I'm here.
okay, Big Poppy from this point forward. Are you changing your Twitch to Big Poppy?
Nah, I've already rebranded myself too
Okay,
many times already.
okay, all right. Hey, you wouldn't by chance know how this podcast normally starts, would you?
The Lucast starts now.
What is going on? Welcome to the Lootcast, episode 117. That's right. This episode's all about Master Chief. No, it's not. I kid. We're still talking Destiny 2. But before we do, a quick word from our sponsors. If you'd like to get yourself a free audiobook from Audible, you can go to audibletrial.com/thelootcast. And there you can pick from one of over 30,000 different books for your listening pleasure. So, Ready Player One, Armada, Super Mario, Console Wars. There's all kinds of gaming books if that's what you're into. There's all kinds of other books too. So, that's audibletrial.com/thelootcast. We also have a sponsor from opseat.com. And if you go to opseat.com and use the code GO, that's short for Guardian Outpost, you can save yourself $10 on your OP seat, which is I highly recommend these chairs. I'm sitting in one right now, and for the price, I don't think you can beat it, honestly. So that's opseat.com, coupon code GO. Okay, well, welcome everybody in chat that's here with us live. We do this Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's twitch.tv/N64Josh. And my special co-host tonight. Some of you have known him from past episodes. He used to be known as Famous Warrior. Unfortunately, he's gotten less famous, so it's Not So Famous TV is now his handle. What happened there, man? Did you say something inappropriate online or what?
I don't know. I always used to get people giving me crap about, oh, you're not famous. What's your name famous? I'm like, and this guy said, oh, you should call yourself Not So Famous. I was like, oh, well, that sounds good. And I just kind of ran with it.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're still still streaming and whatnot, and still playing Destiny. Just
Back.
loving Destiny 2 like it's the best game
Yeah,
ever.
I took a long hiatus. At least, let me see, more like the longest time off of Destiny I ever had. I think it was at least like more than 6 months. And I went deep into the PC world. Played a lot of PUBG, H1Z1.
Sounds like the way you're talking like you barely came back from it.
Yeah. Uh, and then Destiny 2 beta came out on PC. That blew my mind. That was amazing. A week after that, the game came out on console, and a big difference. But it's still a well enjoyable game. I think I put over 150 hours in it already. So I mean, I guess I'm having a good time.
Whoa, on one console?
One console.
Whoa, dude.
One console.
That's 50 hours per tune.
Uh, Probably half because I made two hunters, and I just made a warlock. Just he's just a workhorse. I just that's what he is to me. So, but yeah, just over two characters pretty much. I just made the warlock. So yeah, a lot of game time.
All right. Well, we had a very interesting conversation in our band app this morning. So Famous is one of the admins of the Loot Clan, for those of you guys that may not know. And Sidewinder got on and he's like, there's 250 plus notifications. What is going on this morning? What is happening? And we had a pretty interesting conversation about Destiny 2 and the state of the game. And it's a little bit disheartening where a lot of people are at this point what are we, 3 weeks?
Just
Four.
about heading into the fourth week, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Yep, this is
So
week 4.
I didn't expect these conversations so soon. I figured the conversations. I even said it in the chat this morning. I said, I would prefer these conversations to be, hey, I finally got this weapon after doing all of this, or hey, this finally dropped for me with this roll. I mean, I remember constantly there would be posts of, "Hey guys, is this a good roll on this gun?" or "Check out this god roll." And it really gave us something to shoot for, something to do. A lot of that's missing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's real easy to obtain a lot of things in the game. For it's for the best, for so it can pretty much help people that don't have that much time to play. But at the same time, it's like there's no carrot on the stick. For me, there is. It's called the anti-OD. I can't get that SMG at all. But for the majority, I just don't see like a point of keep playing sometimes almost like especially after I've done everything in the week, raid, trials, everything. Um, but I mean, there's many other things that we can talk about that we spoke about on the band app today. It pretty much started with me. I was bored at work today, so I was like, I literally wrote on the band app, "Hey, I'm bored at work, guys." And then what I wrote was it's really about the PvP in Destiny. It's just what I use to start the conversation. I feel like in Destiny 2, the only fun I really have, the only time I really have fun is doing trials. If I'm playing regular PvP, it's not that fun to me. It's like the maps aren't too good. I feel like um, there's only like 2 or 3 maps that I really enjoy out of the 5 maps that are in the rotation, and people play real passive. I don't know. Trials is a different story because there's more communication, there's more teamwork. It's a team effort more, and the maps have been really good. But the reason that I feel this way is that PvP in Destiny is like my end game, and in Destiny 1, like I could get on by myself and go and control and play for hours. Like I can't do that anymore. Like if I'm not with a team, I just get like real salty, you know, stuff like that. But that's kind of what sparked the conversation we had, and people just kept chiming in on how they felt. Um, and it was a real good conversation.
Yeah, it was definitely good conversation, and I feel like a lot of us are on the same page. I do want to point out, Destinot just said you're not playing it right. I think he's talking to both of us here, and he says you need to play your Guardian as a character in your own fan fiction involving Cade Six, a bathtub full of green Jello, a putting wedge, a stuffed buffalo, and a Nokia brick cell phone. So I guess there's the end game right there. So
Imagination.
what's funny is I even had a guy get super pissed at me on Twitter because I said, like, hey, there's not a whole lot of endgame, or I didn't say it, somebody else did, and he replied with all of these things that he's doing
Hmm.
to make up his endgame, and I'm like, bro, go look up what endgame is. Like, you didn't you didn't
Yeah.
describe anything there. And I mean, the the problem that I'm seeing is these lack of rolls in guns is kind of a big deal. At first we were like, I think the overall thought was, sweet, PvP can be more balanced, right? Because we can all just get the same gun. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, we every time I've got any kind of drop from trials, whether it be from playing and going and turning in my coins, or from people in the clan going flawless, I've got the sniper 4 times.
And that's a big problem in the game.
4 times.
That's a
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else from trials. The sniper 4 times.
It's a great sniper, but there's so many other good guns. Uh, so I know how you
But
feel.
but didn't they say something about? I thought I remember something about the loot table being like it would recognize stuff that you had got, and then
No, no, there's something wrong. I've been trying to get the anti-OD for the this whole weekend. I just converted into SMG uh PvP like kinetic main weapon now. I'm using the trials one right now. It's called the Judicator. It's a great SMG. But the anti-OD has better range and I believe better stability, and it's like one of the most sought out weapons right now. And me and I've heard some other people, they're going through the same thing that I'm doing. It feels like every time I go to the gunsmith and I try to turn in my gunsmith parts for a new gun, I get like the same 5 or 6 weapons. It feels like from that same pool over and over and over, and it's becoming frustrating because I go out, I grind, I do my thing, get my parts, go back. I mean, it's a carrot on the stick, but I feel like I feel like maybe they're adding an artificial way of me not getting everything that I need, or maybe there's something wrong with the code to make me. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's something wrong with the game, possibly. And I'm not the only one. I heard some other guys say the same thing on some other podcasts also.
oh, I've had so many of the same. I mean, look, I probably have a total of 35 hours in the game, right?
Yep.
I've had more duplicate drops. Like, I think I've had 2 or 3 exotic engrams, and at least the
Hmm.
first 2 were the same drop. The first 2
Yeah.
were the
I've heard
same drop.
people having that same issue also. I think Grenadier Jake made a video about it. He was one of the first to point that out. And people try to do all these crazy things to try to manipulate like how it works.
Shoot the
Uh,
chest. Make sure you hit
yeah.
X right when you're standing on your head during your dance.
Yeah, like there's all these videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But I know some guys in the clan. I think J Rock, he was stuck getting the same raid auto rifle, and he's completed the raid every with all his characters every week. He kept getting the auto rifle every week, every week, from every drop. Even if you return his coins in, if you beat the raid, you're able to turn your coins in to get more drops, just like everything else in the game. I feel like that's like their new kind of system. He would get the auto rifle also. He finally got the helmet like the other day. So
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just
And
weird.
the thing is, like, Alka-Seltzer in the chat saying duplicate drops happened in D1, and that's absolutely correct. The difference was that the guns had different rolls, so you had a chance, even if it was the same gun, that you'd have a better roll on it. And if that was the case, that was awesome. You know,
Yep.
that was great. But what seems like right off the bat is that the loot pool in this game is kind of lacking.
I think there's something wrong with it. Either there's a bug or I don't know. There's just I feel like there's just a pool of weapons that I'm only getting. Even with exotics, I always get the same kind of exotics all the time. So something wrong with the game, I feel.
But would you say overall that it feels like there is just less items in the loot pool? That it's just like I don't feel like there's quite as many.
There's not.
And maybe it is because maybe Destiny 1 felt like more because of the different roles, right? Maybe that was something that helped with that. But
Yeah. The, yeah. You're right there.
it and because of that, it takes away from the carrot on the stick. Now, I do want to, like, we kind of jumped right into this thing, and it sounds like we're just throwing shade at this game. Like, we're hardcore Destiny fans, Bungie fans. I mean, this is episode 117, right, of a show that's mainly been about Destiny. And so, and we even said this in our conversation, like, the conversation on Band, that, like, we see the potential that we feel like this game could be and what it has. And Destinot says it's so dark in here, shade from
Yeah,
Miles.
that's what I'm laughing at.
But we see the potential that could
Yeah,
be here. But I mean, look, Bungie had to make a choice. They could either cater to the casual and have the weekend warriors be able to get as much as the hardcore, but in doing so, the hardcore are left with a end game and a grind that's it's not living up to the potential of what Destiny 2 could be.
I've heard conversations of people saying that this is more like a sequel to Destiny Vanilla than Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron has so many quality of life changes. This game has a lot too, but there's a lot of little things that this game doesn't have that was there before. And that's one thing I hate about game companies. When they come out with a sequel and they take things away instead of adding on top of what they already had, and then it feels like they just add that in little by little after that. I don't know, but I feel like that.
I mean, one of the things we talked about last week on the show, Dave and I, is that look, when we left Destiny 1, we left what, 4 raids, like Prison of Elders, Trials, like there was always something to do. And then we went back to a vanilla game. Now, I'm gonna disagree with whoever you were mentioning about the game feeling more like vanilla Destiny 1, because I feel like vanilla Destiny 1 there was maybe maybe loot dropped less, which made it feel more rewarding when we
Yeah,
got something. In this game, everything's dropping so regularly that we're getting so many duplicates because the loot pool's not big enough for the rate of drops.
I agree.
And so I wouldn't mind if that being the case, maybe they should have made legendaries fall far less and made them not so easily attainable through all these different like the factions, or leveling up Cade or leveling up all this. I feel like because of the size of the loot pool, this is way too easy.
Yeah, they could have added weapons to strikes again. Like that was a cool grind. There's strike specific weapons. Um, there's many things that they could have done, and also, I feel like it's like like we were saying earlier. There's really no point of being 305. You can do anything at 280, 290. If you want to do Prestige Nightfall, at least you want to be at least 290. But other than that, um, there's not a real carrot on the stick to get gear to level up, and that was one of my favorite grinds. Um, Before was you needing that certain piece of gear to get you up. Now light level doesn't really matter, and that was to me that was the most fun, was grinding light level. I mean, I still have a lot of fun with this game. I'm not trying to say I don't like it at all. I play it every day. Uh, I lose a lot of sleep. I haven't been sleeping much. Like right before I got on the show, I was taking a nap, and then I look at my phone and Josh texts me. I was like, all right, definitely, I'll help you out. But I was gonna take a nap and actually get up later to do the raid. Like that's how crazy it is for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know. But I was like, I'm just gonna cancel the raid. But but yeah, I still enjoy the raid. I really like this raid. Um, the PVE is enjoyable in this game. Also, I don't know how long it'll be enjoyable for doing the same thing. But it's still enjoyable. I still get my milestones done. Get the Prestige Nightfall as a challenge. This week's Prestige Nightfall looks hard. I was watching Crafty trying it. Not looking forward to that, but I'll give that a try. We usually get it done, usually like with like 5 seconds left.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Prestige Nightfall is it's probably harder than the raid. I feel sometimes because the raid's like more of a team effort. Prestige Nightfall, they had all these crazy timing, uh, penalties and buffs.
Hmm.
Uh, Last week was real painful. Um,
And I
but
feel like the Nightfall, that Prestige Nightfall thing, that's something they got right.
yeah, they
Right?
did.
That's
They
something they
did.
definitely got right. I mean, look, we all know how great this game is, and like how great the gunplay is, and that kind of stuff. Like there's no question about that. It's I think the main point of the conversation is what's the point to keep playing after you hit a certain level, right?
Yeah.
After you've done and I think some of those things, like you mentioned, like weapons at the end of strikes, even getting those keys to unlock chests, at least it was something.
Yeah.
It was like maybe not every time I'm going to get the loot, but there's a chance that still keeps you going in there, right? It
Mm-hmm.
keeps you
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Yeah.
I mean, patrols seem to be very popular. We mentioned this early on, like talking about it way before Destiny 2 came out. Like, what if you complete 1,000 patrols? Give us a banner at the very least. Give us
Yeah, there's no reward books anymore. Remember those?
yeah.
That was similar to what you're talking about right now. You go out and you grind the book. That's something simple they could have done. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking that maybe they're holding this back and they're gonna sprinkle it in little by little. But who knows? They still haven't announced Iron Banner. We still don't know when the Prestige raid is gonna drop. I know Iron Banner is gonna drop a whole bunch of new gear, guns, weapons. Um, the
Is
raid
power
Prestige
level going to matter in that? Do we know?
that we don't know. Power level doesn't matter in trials. Well, you need to be 260, but that's it. Other than that, you know, I've seen people with blue gear in trials. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, but we got that coming up. After that, I don't know. Um, that's for October, November. Are they gonna have another Halloween event? Festival of the Cost, is that gonna come back? uh, but
I doubt it'll come out like that. I think they learned.
yeah, yeah, I want them to release another one of those timelines they did again. If they need to keep doing stuff like that, um, pretty much, I feel like we're looking. A lot of the Destiny community is looking for things to keep them playing, and it's almost like we're crying like we're kids crying at Bungie like gimme gimme gimme. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and is Bungie if they don't keep giving, then people are gonna start going back to PUBG, Fortnite.
Oh,
Games like
Fortnite's huge right now. Like I
yeah,
can't believe the Twitch directory for that game. Like
yeah.
it's crazy.
Battle Royale games are huge now.
Yeah.
I keep from playing PUBG. That game's amazing. I mean, but this is how good Destiny. It took me away from playing my PC, which is a high end PC, to back to my Xbox. Just because that's how much I enjoy the game. I go from 144 frames to 30 frames, and I don't mind. That's how good the game is. I forget all the stuff I say about frames goes out the window. I'm
Right.
enjoying the game.
Right.
I'm in the Cosmodrome doing I'm the Cosmodrome EDZ doing a public event. I'm getting 5 frames per second doing the glimmer. Have you done that in the EDZ? Some of the public events will bring you to like 10 FPS, and I'm still like, well, and they say and people want this game to be 60. Never gonna happen. But
No.
that's another conversation.
Yeah. Right. Right. I
Not on
want to.
console.
I want to point out. Destinot says I do like the planet specific gear. He just wished the specific gear had better perks.
Well, there's no perks in gear. Like, what's the point? The gear grind, you can't grind for tier 12 build anymore. It's like, you look at what gear you want. If everybody's now is specking in recovery for PvP. You know,
Mm.
recovery is what you want. Especially if you're a hunter. Warlocks get like 10 recovery. Us hunters, we only get like 6 tops. So you look for that gear, and then once you have that gear, like you add your mods, and that's it. Like the raid gear doesn't have. There's no reason for me to use raid gear. You know, I'm using Trials gear because it gives me the most recovery. If there was other gear that gave me recovery, I would use that. But I mean, getting gear in different planets, that could be your carrot on the stick. You could try to collect every gear. Like I like the IO cape for the hunter, so I grinded to get that.
Mm.
You know, there's different stuff. I still haven't done a lot of the adventures in the planets. Um, I still haven't looked around and looked for lore stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff left to do. But that's stuff that I can do. I don't know.
For sure, for sure. Destinat says I've dubbed the area behind the church in the EDZ Baywatch. The whole thing is in slow mo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
I
love it.
remember playing Mega Man X. Sometimes it feel like to be like, what is this slow mo mode? I'm like 9 years old. Like,
Right.
did I trigger something? Just the
Right.
SNES, just like crippling.
Yeah, I was
What it
just
feels like.
I just got the SNES Classic this weekend, and it still had some of the crazy frame drops in some of the games. I was like, "What is
It's
happening?"
like it's almost like the frame drops get ported over whatever emulator program they're using. It still
Right?
brings the frames drop with them. Yeah.
It's authentic, man. It's authentic
Yeah.
right there. So, but Alka-Seltzer says I'm still super mad at how big the tower is. Can we talk about that? They start that
Yeah.
quest for factions. You got to go talk to the sad guy at Dead Orbit, and then the future war cult's right there, and then all the way across the tower to go talk to Triple Wreck. I'm like, what is
Uh,
going on over here?
yeah. I went through that the other day, and I was like, man, I gotta keep running back and forth. I mean, it. I like how big the tower is, but it's kind of like an inconvenience having to go back and forth like that. But I like the room that they made. You know, it's a lot. It's a big space, a lot of room for activities in there. Hopefully, they keep adding stuff in the tower. I heard there's secret rooms in there, passages, all this stuff. I like it. It's huge, but
And dude, all it's gonna take is one like owl sector thing to go down, right? And the community's gonna blow up. Like,
well, speaking
but
of that, Luke Smith was one of the ones that said that, yeah, we're big on those Black Spindle type events. That was a big inspiration for us in Destiny 2. Where that's at? Where are those events at?
mm-hmm.
I know we're only 3 weeks in, but that I know the community wants that bad stuff like that. And remember, Sleeper Simulant, people every day on Reddit, come in with all these theories about Sleeper Simulant, stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's really none of that stuff around. But I think what they're doing is they're making the base of the game light, so a lot of people could get into it, dig their feet into it. And I think little by little they're gonna start adding more stuff for the hardcore audience to do. I feel like they just want everybody to come in and get the game, enjoy it, and maybe they could draw them in little by little, and maybe they can, But the whole clan rewards stuff, I like. I actually I like it because I feel like it gives those people a chance to still try out, guns that they would never try out. You know, like some guy could never play Trials, but he would never enjoy the Trials SMG, but now he has a chance to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it'll give him, maybe it'll make him want to go into Trials. Like, hey, maybe I could try this out. Maybe I could help you guys out. Stuff like that. I feel they're trying to draw people in, and I feel like they're making the game a little less more accessible for people now, and hopefully they improve.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got faith. I said that in our chat this morning. I've got faith in Bungie. I don't, you know, I know they want to put out a killer product. That's just that any company would, right? They didn't. Did they anticipate us eating up this content this fast? I don't. You think they would have learned from Destiny 1 how fast we devour anything
I just think
Destiny?
I just think they can't put up, no matter what they do, they can't put enough content to please people.
And I
No matter
can't.
what.
We may have said this last week, but I almost feel like this game should have waited another year, and they should have doubled or tripled the loot pool, and maybe charged 80 to 90 bucks for this game instead of 60. And I know some people are going to freak
Oof.
about that,
Yeah.
but when you talk about having that long to work on this game and I mean, for a $60 game, Destiny 2 is still a great value, right? I mean, there are
I mean,
some games you're going to buy for 60 bucks that you won't put as much time in,
I
and you'll
now
complete them.
I agree with you. Put it like this: if you really like a game, you're gonna buy the collector's edition, right?
More than likely.
Okay, so how much are you gonna spend? $100, right? $90, right?
Oh yeah.
So if a company said, "Hey, our game costs $90, buy it and you get all this," you're already gonna buy it anyways. If you like the game, you're gonna buy the collector's edition anyway. So I agree with you on that. But I don't know if a lot of people would feel the same way. Uh, Also, they can also do a subscription based program, but I don't know if a lot of people would like that also. But
I mean, a lot of it gets into a whole just to talk about business and you know the size of studio they need and to be able to put out the kind of content that they need. And it's the one thing, like I watched Angry Joe talk about Destiny 2, and he didn't pull any punches. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed his review. I thought he had some very good points. Did I agree with everything he said? No, but I think he made some great points. What kills me is how he loses his stuff over microtransactions and DLC, like paid DLC.
mm-hmm.
To me, and I'd love to have a conversation with him and just be like, "Bro, let's talk about inflation a little bit. Let's talk about what games should actually cost right now, and we still only pay $60 for them." And with that being said, if the games cost double what they did now, but we had double the content at release, would that be such a bad thing? If games cost double and we got the same thing right now, no, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that whatsoever. But if Bungie had come right out and said Destiny's $100, you get here's all the content you're going to get. We're dropping some over time like this. It's no different than if we buy the season pass or not, except we're not being forced to. You can choose whether you want to or not.
Yep.
And I mean, they want to support this game for what? Destiny 2, 3, 4 years possibly? They have to be continually bringing in income for this thing to keep the ball rolling. I mean, that's just business. It doesn't work any other way. So
I think games are just. I feel like $60 isn't enough for video game companies nowadays.
Spazatron, I wish I had spent 60 ...
Yeah, but I buy COD for only PvP. Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I dropped C. It says I buy COD for only PvP. I mean, I used to do the same thing. I mean, I stopped playing through the campaigns, but I mean, look, we're talking about hours and hours of entertainment, and I don't want to get into the big, like, well, if you go to a movie, you spend $10 for 2 hours, like blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy popcorn, okay, whatever. We don't need to break down the minute by minute what a game's value is, that kind of stuff. That's a conversation.
That's what Reddit's for.
Yeah, right. But I mean, at the end of the day, for what Destiny 2 is, it's still a good value. The problem is the game is so damn good that we want more of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to. The same was true with Destiny 1. It was so good, we don't want to stop playing it. And we don't want to do just ridiculous grind that has no purpose as soon as the next DLC comes out. If anything, in my mind, they need to take a more MMO approach to this and allow us to just continually level until a cap and then just bump the cap when the DLC comes out and we still just have to grind the level, right? So no matter what activity I'm doing in Destiny, I'm leveling up. And that cap is something that isn't necessarily attainable until, 150 hours of playtime. Right? Something like that. I'm just throwing out an arbitrary number, but after that, and don't make the max level lock us out of things. Do like they're doing now, where it's like, 260, you can start doing stuff, but at least get to that point and then keep grinding. But I think the power level being tied to armor, I don't think it's good for Destiny. I think in this hybrid MMO, first person shooter, open world RPG elements, that's for you, Destinot. I think the level needs to be based on how much you've played.
Mm-hmm.
Not on what your RNG is.
Yep. or what you play. More higher end game rewards. Yeah.
Yeah, if you grind up to you grind up to level 305. You grind. You then unlock stuff that other people can't access. And I'm sorry that the casuals would cry on Reddit and cry on Twitter, why can't play more? If you
Mhm.
can't, why do the rest of us have to be punished for that, you know? And I don't know, maybe I'm just cold, maybe I'm callous because maybe I have a little more time to play than some other people, you know, whatever the case may be. But I guarantee you there's people that can play more than me, and I wouldn't care if I was behind but still had plenty to do in this game right now, instead of the opposite where I'm like, I can pick this game back up again after the next DLC and get right to the level I would spend X amount of time doing that's not that
Yeah.
enjoyable.
I mean, all you got to do is you log in once a week. You get your raid drop from the clan reward. You get your trials drop from the clan reward. That's it. Try it out. That's all you got to do. You know, they could easily add like a tiered. I don't know why they don't try to go like the Diablo way. Because Diablo, once you get to like a level cap, there's a Paragon level, and you keep leveling up after that, and that just kind of like adds on top of your level, and also it allows you to unlock like certain set gear sets. It's just a more of a system that they can add with the same grind that's already there. But I don't know. I feel like they don't want to go that way because that's too hardcore, you know, and that's the problem. But
Yeah, you know what though? I think I don't know. I've kind of been preaching this for a while about this game, that I would just love to see it be, if level was the only thing that we were trying to grind, it would not matter what activity we were doing, because each character, each guy you shoot gives you X amount of XP. However well you do in PvP, you get that amount of XP. You drop 50 kills, you're going to get more XP than the next guy. I mean, even like games like Gears of War and stuff where you level up as you play PvP, it's still based on how well you do.
that's another thing. There's no PvP ranking system.
Yeah.
There's no. The only thing for me, I like PvP. I want to grind PvP, but the only thing that there is for me to grind is trials, and that's only on Fridays, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's it. Other than that, like competitive is horrible. The competitive playlist is not fun. Survival, I don't. Everybody quits every other game. If you're not running stacked 14, you're not gonna have fun. Same thing with quick play. If you're not running at least with the double, it's not gonna be fun. And I feel like they're losing out right there, big time.
Yeah,
For
and
their game.
it I mean, look, the end of Destiny 1, I understand there was a lower player base, so we only got certain game modes each week. But come on, there was like literally millions of people signed into Destiny 2. Why couldn't we pick what we want to play?
Yeah.
And that also allows Bungie to then see what are the most popular game types. What is it that the community is going towards, and let's put more focus on that. They're not going to play Supremacy. I don't think people really care for that game mode. you know?
Every time that comes, dude, there's been so many times that I've gotten supremacy on that same map, with the man cannons.
Yeah.
That's oh man, it's not fun. Like 3 games in a row, the same map, same supremacies. And as a casual player, like why would you want to hop back into Destiny PvP? Not a casual, but as a PvE player, like, just going into PvP, you're gonna hate Crucible. You're not gonna want to do it. They're not trying to draw new people in. Um, that, that's where they're losing out.
Yeah, it's very odd choices. No private games, no private matches, and just stuck playing the. At very least, if you're going to have this system in place, at least give us 2 to 3 options that the teams can vote on before you jump in. So if it's Supremacy or Survival, I can hit X or Y to pick whichever one I want to play.
Yeah, a Halo type system.
Yeah.
Um, I almost feel like this is like an experiment. I got a feeling that they're just like they're all in the back, just sitting in the background, looking at all the data, and they're trying to see like, you know, okay, this is what we need to do to make the game better. It's like okay, let's push this version of the game out that's a real plane, and then let's see what the community does with it. And I'm hoping this is what their plan is, because I feel like they're such a smart company, you know. So.
I mean, it's not uncommon for a business to put out the MVP, right? The minimum viable product, so that
Hmm.
they can get the product in front of their customer base, especially when it comes to software that can be updated on a regular basis. But they know how hungry this community is, right? And they know
Yeah.
how vocal they can be. And, I feel like this was their opportunity to put their best foot forward so that guys like Angry Joe would go, hey, I remember what Bungie was, and they're still doing it now, versus why didn't they give me a sparrow during the campaign just so I'd have to walk everywhere and they could pad the length of their game? I mean, like he didn't pull any punches, and it even if that's the case that they're just trying to test some things. It's just weird that on a number of things that would have helped this game just be more relevant and have a just a longer entail even would be they went backwards, right?
Hmm.
They took things that they
Hmm.
knew were right in Destiny 1 and just removed them.
Yep.
They just took
Yep.
them out, and it's so strange. Spazatron 3000 saying it was delayed for a year, and that's true. It was delayed for a year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, look, they create these things. I'm not even a game developer. I just talk about video games. I love video games. It's a hobby. It's fun. But I almost feel like, and especially listening to Luke Smith talk, like they anticipated players playing this game a certain way and doing these certain activities. And I don't think because they're missing the loot that was needed to make these activities worth doing, nobody's really doing them.
Yep. And it's a big loss. It's a big loss. And I don't know. I just feel like I think they knew they had to know that people were gonna suck this game up. They know that this is the most viewed game. Like I think this game, what, it was the most consistently viewed game on Twitch, right? Something like that.
Something like that, or
Yeah.
one of the highest ever
Yeah.
viewers, or
Like,
something like that. I mean,
or hours, number of hour game viewed on Twitch. It's not on top, but it's always being viewed constantly all the time.
yeah,
And I just don't know what kind of approach they thought. I just think that they just found a way to work with the small amount of content that they had, and they did their best. And hopefully they're just working on more now, and you know they can give us more. I just don't feel like they can never make enough content with the
it,
budget they have
it,
to please everybody.
yeah. It's because the game is so great. That's
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that the gunplay is so good. The way the game feels is so good. The guns, if you're a looter shooter fan, there's so many guns for you to choose. Um, and I feel bad for them when it comes out on PC. The PC community is gonna see the game, and the PC community, we're spoiled. Like, I'm a PC gamer. We got so many options with the games that we have. I feel like the PC community is gonna rip it apart. Hopefully not. Hopefully they'll enjoy. They'll see how smooth the game is on PC. And oh my God, it is. The game just feels. It's gonna feel like a whole different game on PC. And I've experienced from playing the beta. I was looking at some VODs of me playing PvP, and the way I move, everything, the way I'm shooting,
mm,
it looks like a whole different game. And it's gonna play like a whole different game. And I feel like maybe this is they're holding out and they're waiting for PC to come out, so then they can start kind of sinking I feel like they don't want to drop any more content before PC comes out. Also, I feel like that might be a thing also, that they're
it
doing
could
to
be.
kind of uh you know not to make the community not not hate them even more. So, and I feel like I've also heard that like a lot of the Bungie employees are big into Destiny 2 on PC also.
Mm.
And
Yeah, you mentioned the Destiny um, content creator radio, right?
DCC. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
you
Too Loud.
mentioned Too Loud saying
Yeah, I
something
heard.
about
Yeah, Too Loud was saying that he plays with a lot of Bungie employees, and they they were saying that they only made one character on the PlayStation 4. They're holding up all their other time for the PC. So it's like that tells you something. If the developers are, you know, holding up for PC, then they know that that's where the game is gonna be most enjoyable at. But I still feel like on the console it's gonna be solid experience. I'm still gonna play on Xbox. I'm gonna mainly play on PC when it comes out, but I still have a lot of the Loot Clan members that are on the Xbox, and I have a lot of fun playing. Shout out to everybody in the Loot Clan, all the guys that we went flawless with this weekend. Let me tell you, this weekend I could have went. I should have been flawless 2 times, right?
oh, here it comes.
Friday, we it was me. I dropped blood and Mez. So it was real sweaty on Friday. I think we played for like a whole hour straight, just getting one win, one loss, one win, one loss, two wins, loss, going up against real sweaty teams. We finally got to see. I feel like this is what Charles about. You get your butt kicked, then you learn from your mistakes. You regroup, you suck it up, you learn how to play with each other, you mold, and then you become that team that stomped you. Now you start steamrolling teams, and then you start feeling good.
Mm.
So that's what we were doing eventually. So 2 wins in, I'm like, so how many wins you guys got? They're like 4. I was like, oh, did you guys get new cards? Yeah. I was like, oh, damn. So yeah, so pretty much I had a loss. So what I did, I
Oh
deleted
no.
my card. They were already at I think they were already at 4 wins. So I deleted my card, and we got them. I helped get them to 7 wins. So we just had to win 2 more games for me. We won our sixth game. Our seventh game, we went up against the most sweatiest team, man, and it was hard, and we couldn't come back from that. But I still felt like I went flawless. I still felt like I went to the lighthouse because I knew. And this is a gripe I have. Like, what's the point of the card system? If I can make a mistake like that, I wonder how many people have made that mistake that could have went flawless.
Mm.
Why don't they just have a system that it just knows when you get 7 wins in a row, and that's it? They open up the other places in the lighthouse, in the spire. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just stuck to saying the lighthouse.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that's what I feel like. Since they already took away the boons, they already took away that whole system. You don't have to go see anybody buy a card. Just make it all seamless. But and then on Sunday, I ended up playing again with another team, and then we went flawless. It was a little easier on Sunday. But you know how you get the trials emblem? It has like it says how many wins you have.
Right.
There's 2 on mine, and it should say 3. And every day I see that, I'm like, ah. But yeah, guys, delete your cards. If you play trials, make sure you're with your team and you delete your card. And but I'm really enjoying trials a lot more in Destiny 2 than I was in Destiny 1 for some reason. I didn't really enjoy trials that much in Destiny 1. Sometimes, like, I would go to the lighthouse once or twice, and then I kind of be like, I don't know. But this time around, I just want to play trials all weekend. It's so much fun, man. I feel like they did a great job with trials. Like the emissary, like how she speaks to you.
Mm.
I like the whole intro system, even though it can get dry sometimes. It's funny. It's
Salt
a good
Bay.
experience. Yep. Speaking of salt, have you seen the planet that you go to, the unknown space that you fly to? And I don't know how we're flying to an unknown space
Right.
ever.
Gotcha.
But anyways, if you go on that planet,
I'm tracking with you.
like if you go on that planet, like it's all like the whole background looks like like a salt mine. So I just say like, hey guys, this planet is just full of all the salty tears of all the Destiny community right here. This is what this place is made of.
Honestly, I think the reason we'd have so few options in the Crucible is because of everybody calling them Bungo. They were like, call us Bungo one more time.
Right,
See what
right.
happens. Have fun in Supremacy.
Yeah, it's like a real simple system they put, a real simple kind of matchmaking system they put, and it's doing them more bad than good. Like if I want to play control, like I like control, and I've only played control in quick play. I can probably count maybe 10 times out of all the times that I try playing. It's always supremacy, clash. It's never control. Like I just want to play control.
Well, even the
You
beta
know?
was deceiving because it was control or survival, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was just control and then countdown for competitive.
Or countdown,
That's it.
yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so like that almost I feel like gave the impression of like, oh yeah, you can pick control, you can pick
Yeah.
you know, and that's I mean that's really how it should be. So that they can see what the community's playing and how
Mhm.
we're going to play this game competitively. Right now, I think it was True Vanguard. He said it was the competitive is a joke.
It is a joke, and I agree 100% with him. You go in there with a team, somebody else on the other team is gonna quit.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to go into competitive and you're trying to compete and get and train for trials, go up against good teams, it's not gonna happen. That might happen, you might, but not all the time. You're gonna run into people that are gonna quit, and then you're gonna be pub stomping them, and you're not gonna learn anything. And don't bother going there solo. If you go in there solo, the salt will, well, at least for me, it just comes out, man. Quick play, like I said earlier, it's fun, but but it can get salty after a while.
Yeah, for sure. Henny said, I've actually been enjoying Supremacy," and then he writes ducks. Like, yeah, good call, good call.
I think
But
Supremacy is. Did anybody in year one like Supremacy? Like I never enjoyed it. I
I
feel like
it,
it's something that they tried and just didn't really work out, and I feel like they should have just stick with Clash and Control. I would have been fine just with that, and I think the whole community agrees on that.
well, even but Countdown's great.
Oh, competitive Countdown's fun. I love Countdown.
Yeah, like
I can go into Countdown by myself for a little bit and enjoy it until it gets bad. If I would play with blueberries that would actually stay in my team, then I would enjoy it. But I love Countdown. It's fun. Survival, I'm still scared when Trials is gonna be survival. I don't know how that's gonna be. I'm hearing half an hour rounds sometimes. Sometimes you can play against real passive teams that they just camp. So interested in that. See how
yeah.
that's gonna. I'm not looking forward to the prestige raid though. Not looking forward to that though for some
Yeah,
reason.
some of the mechanics in the raid are just questionable to where it's like it's artificially hard because of the mechanics. You know, it's
Hmm.
not. It's I don't know. I don't know. That's a topic for another time. But I do want to touch on one thing that Alka-Seltzer says. She says it is impossible to make everyone happy, unfortunately, and
It
that is the
is.
case. But when you create a game that is built on compromise, trying to please as many people as possible, ultimately it's going to suffer in the long run. And that has been true for multiple things in my life. When there's too much compromise, then you can end up with a product that ends up being not so great. Whereas if you had just picked a direction and stuck with it, you could end up with a better product. So
Yeah, you don't want that. Destiny ended up like the division. Sorry.
no, but God bless those guys for sticking with that game and
Yeah, they
they
did. They did.
sticking with the community. I mean, they did a massive update to that game today. It had server maintenance too, I believe, and
Yeah.
so I mean that's dedication, and those are good guys. I got
They
to
are.
I got to meet a lot of those guys, and I mean they're it's blood, sweat, and tears in that thing, and so I mean good on them. It doesn't feel like just a cash grab. They were like, no, we want you guys to like this game. I think they want to make a sequel to the division, and they want to
I
make sure
feel
they get
like
it right.
yeah. That's another convo. I don't even want to get into
Right,
division.
right, for sure, for sure. Well, hey, bud, I know you've been streaming some. We gotta wrap this thing up. Where
Yep.
can people find you?
I'm streaming almost every day or every other day. Really should make a schedule. Twitch.tv, not so famous TV. Formerly famous Warrior X, but not so famous TV. And also my Twitter is not so famous TV.
Is there an underscore somewhere?
No underscores, Josh. None.
Okay, attaboy.
None.
I love it. I love it. Guys, you're going to find me on Twitter at N64Josh. You're going to find me on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Everything's N64Josh. So
Branding's on point.
yeah, you can check out all those places and find me there. I am putting out a fair amount of content on my YouTube channel. So if you especially if you're interested in Nintendo stuff, you can go check that out. We do this show live Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/N64Josh. Remember, you can get your free book from Audible by going to audibletrial.com/thelootcast. Also, if you want to get yourself a gaming chair from opseat.com, make sure to use coupon code GO. Save yourself $10 that way. And if you have a second, you can leave us a review. We appreciate it. If if you disagree with our conversation, I'd love to chat with you. Hit me up on Twitter, whatever. Like, I'm always down to chat, and we can discuss different views, whatever. Let's just keep it cordial. That's all I ask. And yeah, man, thanks for stepping up at the last minute.
Like I said, man, I stepped up to the plate, big time. Red Sox fan here.
There you go. There you go. Well, hey. Guys, thank you once again for listening, and we will see you next week. Take it easy.
Later, guys.
All right, chat. Let's go raid somebody real quick. Are you going to stream right now?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not, yeah.
All right.
Probably gonna go to bed early. If I start streaming, I won't go to bed early. I'll be up all night. Dude, that went kind of long, huh? 124?
That was just how long our call was. The episode was
okay.
just 56 minutes. So, all right, chat. Let's see. Who should we go say hi to? So many choices. There's my boy, Swain.
Swain Stash.
Let's go see Swain Stash. All right, here we go. Guys, if you're here live, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you guys being here with us. You guys are the best. Is the audio and stuff more on point? Are the voices lined up? You guys should let me know real quick. Everything seems to look a little nicer from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think your stream quality is a lot better than it was before.
I should hope so.
Before, it was a little blurry.
Oh,
I don't know if it was your PC or whatever, but it had like a little blurriness to it.
Are the voices and the mouths lined up right now?
On the stream?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious if the guys in chat can let me know. Because we've always had a massive delay before. And even then I tried to set the delay, it would never end up working. So.
It looks fine.
Off by half a second. Okay.
Looks fine to me, but I don't know.
When we're talking, my mouth is moving with my words?
Like my voice isn't, but yours is.
Oh, yours is a little off, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. But half a sec's not that bad. It's pretty minimal.
Yours is fine. Mine is bad.
Bad?
Like about a half a second.
Hmm.
On me.
I don't know how I would fix this. Because I have our audio. The way I have to do this is our audio is running into the same thing. So I'll have to give it some thought.
It might be a Skype thing that you have no control over.
That could be the case too.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Discord. But hey guys.
Oh, Discord.
Yeah, Discord video, baby.
So better, man.
Let's go. Looks normal on stream. All right, cool. Let's go see Swain Stash. hit him with a Lootcast raid. He is a host of Crucible Radio. Overall, super swell dude. So let's go hit him with a Lootcast raid. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back in less than an hour for the Nintendo Powercast. So we'll see you then. Bye, guys.